Alright guys, this is Team Hard Life Captain Alberto Zertuche here, and we've got another spooling video for you today. This one is with the G2 MXL. If you haven't fished with these guys, I really highly encourage you, if you're looking into getting into avets without...
Gotta bite. I think I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I got a line. I'ma call the whole team.
Going full bore with the Raptors, these are really nice reels. They've got increased drag on them, and the still line capacity is the same as the regular MXLs and the Raptor, but it's got better drag than the single speed or the 2-speed MXL. So definitely a good investment for you. But today we're gonna spool it up with some, what you got? Jerry Brown for both, 60 pound to 100 pound.
Yeah.
So, and this is good because, like I said, I got away from Jerry Brown there for a minute because we weren't getting the line capacities that we were supposed to be getting, as well as the deliveries weren't up to speed where we wanted them. But there's the 60 pound, and we've got the 100 pound right there. So on this one, normally we would do 400 yards of 60, and then it was 100 yards of 100. So let's see if we can get back there. That'd be real good. Oh, you want to save this?
Yeah,
right?
I'll put back on there.
Yeah, because you got 1200. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to insert the braid in the direction that I needed to start this knot. But the reason why I got to insert it a certain way is because as the knot spins or is pulled upon by the main line coming out of the reel, as the reel is being cranked in, it's got to tighten up. So in doing that, if you do it the wrong direction, it's not going to grip, it's going to stay loose. So as you noticed, I went underneath the spool coming from the top side, like if you're going to reel in, but going the opposite direction that the line is actually getting spooled on. This creates the closing effect that I need for making this knot work. And it's a knot system. It's not just one knot working in particular by itself. It's several knots working together to create the one that needs it to grip the spool. So as you saw, I went around the arbor multiple times. It's usually about 8 to 10 times. You can do a little bit more, but it makes it a little more difficult to get the knot across and make it look real nice and smooth, because once you start getting too many twists around the arbor, it starts to pile up on itself. So 8 to 10 is a good nice one, and then you'll see how I straighten out the line to get it all flat and make it to where it's pretty much one layer, except for the one line that comes across where the two lines meet up to tighten up the knot. So this is a quick little down and dirty again to show y'all how I tie braid straight to the spool without any tape and or the use of monofilament. The other thing too, what I like to do is with the 2-speed reels, I normally throw them down in gear and use the lower gear to get them to spool up. However, this is a single speed, so I have no choice but to spool it using the speed that it comes in. So Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a hollow core to hollow core splice. Since they are both hollow core braids, one's 100-pound test, the other is 60-pound test. And normally what I like to do is take them in about 18 inches on each side to lock them in place before I continue on. So what I'm doing right here, I'm actually using one of the needles to get the braid to open up so I can tow the other line in. And we'll go from there. This is a reverse latch needle, which allows me to open and close the loop at the end, so that way I can attach lines and so forth. It's specially designed for the reverse latch loop end, but I have been using it because on the loop end needles, I tend to break those a lot more because the thin wire they make, when you're doing so many splices, they tend to wear down right at the end of the loop and it snaps. So with the reverse latch loop end needle, trying to say that real fast, it's almost a tongue twister, I am able to open and close without having to worry about wearing it down so far. So, and also too, when I go to splice in on the other side, what I do is I'll back off from the center of the braid on one direction, and I'll pull it back some. The best way I'm trying to explain this is the main line that I just towed into the other line, well, that one is going to be the center point once the two braids cross over. So I have to push it back just a little bit, just to make sure that when I do take out all the slack from each side, I don't have any knot or any loose loop right in the center of the braids as they cross over. The only bad thing about doing these splices with dirty hands, and you give away the spot because it kind of looks a little bit dirty. All right. Clean your hands before you spool my line. Start touching that white line. Alright guys, so we have gotten 300 yards of the 60-pound Jerry Brown and 100 yards of the 100-pound Jerry Brown on top. So this will give him a good idea of when he casts, if he's breaking that 100-yard mark on cast. And also too, if he happens to break the 100-yard mark and is catching fish, then he knows what he needs to shoot for. By putting different type lines like that or different colors, gives you a lot of advantage when you're paying attention to what the fishing is doing. And a lot of those little tricks of the trade I'm going to be passing on a little bit at a time, because there's just so much, and sometimes I forget, what I've already passed on. So sometimes I'll reiterate it, but at the same time too, for those of y'all that are new to the channel, this is Team Hard Life Captain Alberto Zertuche, and like I said, been very blessed with a lot of knowledge or to learn and remember and stuff like that. So I definitely want to share it with y'all. If y'all will do me the favor of sharing the channel with your buddies and your friends, cousins, whatever, whoever's trying to get into fishing or has any idea of thinking about getting into fishing, this channel will really help them, and it'll really help us all grow. Just remember, keep your comments and thoughts polite, and don't worry, I don't like trolls on here, and we try to help each other out. So again guys, y'all have a good one, good luck, tight lines and screaming drags.